No, even the cat also ignore me. I meow to the cat just walk away. I mean, like, and when I was in Malaysia, when I meow to the cat will meow to me. I don't know, it's a language barrier or face problem or...
You gotta meow in German here. Are you from Johor Bahru, Henry? Are you from JP, Henry?
Oh yes, I'm from JB, I'm from Johor Bahru. Dear listener, JB and Johor is technically two different things. Like, especially people coming from KL. When you drive from KL to JB, when you see the welcome to Johor, it means there's 2 hours away from JB.
12
Johor is huge.
hours only what? Same.
Some people think like Segamat and JB is very close to each other. It's 2 hours.
I grew up in Johor. I was 16 kilometers north of JB in Skudai.
There's a very nice Hokkien mee in
I
Skudai.
see, is it? I wasn't exposed to Hokkien Mee as a kid. Maybe now I can go in Skudai. But yeah. My dad was a lecturer at
Yes.
UTM there. That's why I was there as a kid. Where in Skudai is Hokkien Mee?
I forgot the taman already, the Nasi Lemak mana lagi.
Nasi Lemak mana lagi? I need to Google this.
I don't know where is it, but it's near Skudai.
Yeah.
It's the area. I
Okay.
suddenly can't remember the name already. Yeah, I mean, like, that's one of the things when I back to Malaysia. I have a list. My parents keep asking me like, hey, what kind of food you want to eat? My list is all the super cheap food. Parents were expecting like I want to go to eat some expensive like Japanese food, Korean food. All I want to eat is nasi lemak,
Henry,
nasi
I
goreng,
completely
like
understand.
fried chicken,
Completely
goreng
understand.
pisang.
When I went back, first time I went back to Malaysia last year during COVID, I was quarantined in a hotel for 2 weeks. And then on the 10th day, they told me, Encik, kalau Encik nak order anything, we can make it happen. Because they had like you can only order from these places, but then this one time they said you can order anything. And you know what I ordered? Mee goreng mamak. That's all I wanted after 2 years of being abroad.
That's before the pandemic. I fly from Bangkok to Philippines. That's the Asia Philippines. For some reason, they have nasi lemak. I would say the Asia food is not the best. Yeah, it's kind of one of the worst one. But hey, that's nasi lemak. It's something I want to eat for a long time. Yeah, then of course I order the nasi lemak. I think it's like 10 ringgit and totally worth it. Although the portion is very, very small. But yeah, it's something like maybe like before I left Malaysia, I was like, nasi lemak, I don't really care about it. I want to eat some other nice food. But now it's the Malaysian food is the best food.
I totally agree, Henry. Envious of the people still back in Malaysia. I never appreciated for myself how amazing the food was in Malaysia until I moved out of the country.
That's true. That's one thing like, so during the DragCon Berlin, there's one food called the red curry chicken with rice. So it's not Malaysian food, but it's a Thai food. It's a red curry chicken with rice. So when I look at the food, it's a red curry, right? It doesn't look red. There's no curry. When I taste it, it's not spicy. Then at the moment, I thought it's like, did I get COVID? Yeah, then I drink apple juice. Then yeah, I do taste something. So something wrong with the food. There's the red curry chicken with rice. There's no red. There's no curry. There's no spicy.
But spicy food is difficult, yeah. You cannot have, I think over here what I've learned is, especially at a big conference like DragCon, serving spicy food would be very difficult because you need to cater for everyone. And if you have anything spicy, it's just going to be difficult because some people can't eat it. I know because my girlfriend can't take any spicy food. Black pepper for her is already spicy. So she definitely cannot eat any curry. Yeah.
I mean, like, the food is nice, but just don't call it red curry because it doesn't look like and it doesn't taste like red curry.
I think the funny thing is that they try to sound exotic, red curry, chicken, and then when it comes out, it's a bit orangey. And then when you taste it, it's like,
Sweet.
Where's the curry? It tastes sweet.
That's actually a really good point, Calling it an exotic name gives it a very, exotic vibes, These Europeans, they like these exotic things.
Yeah.
We can do part 3 with Henry now. We can continue that series, maybe, Morgan, software that we pay for. What software do you pay for, Henry?
Yes, I do pay for like Google One because I need Google Photo Storage. The second app is an iOS app called Halide.
Yeah. It's called Halide.
Oh, really? Okay, now I know how
Yeah.
to pronounce it.
The developer is based in Amsterdam. But all right, carry on.
Oh, yes. The founder is based in Amsterdam. It's a founder plus photographer.
Yeah, and the motorbiker. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You know who is the person. I use Android for like more than 10 years. Now I switched to iOS. One thing I miss a lot is that the customization on the camera app. I want to adjust the focal length. What else I can adjust? I can adjust the focus. I can save in RAW, save in JPEG. I can adjust the white balance.
And then there's some AI stuff as well, right? If I remember correctly, like try to guess the lighting.
For me, like the one I always want to use is the focus. So this is the issue why I make the purchase. That's one feature that I want to use. You can change the focal length. So the annoying is like you're in a car, raining, and you want to take a picture of the view outside. Your camera is stupid enough, it's always focused on the raindrop.
I see. So
If you use the camera app, you can't do anything. You just, okay, there's nothing you can do. You need a third-party app. I mean, like, that's one of the best app you can use.
The question is isn't Halide a subscription now? Do you pay for the subscription?
Yes, I paid before the subscription model come in. I think I do know about the subscription is they changing the pricing model. So I was like, okay, if I don't buy it now, then I'm going to regret for the rest of my life.
Subscription model for a camera app? That sounds a bit...
So the idea with the Halide is that every year they will add new features and then add like a new enhancement for different versions. So if you subscribe, you get different little small little things. It's not really expensive.
€1 a month? Yeah, that's cheap.
Yeah, it's €1 per month, or you can upgrade for permanently for €60.
I mean,
So permanently is for like Halide 2.
But I
And then
mean,
if they
like,
have
I
another
don't-
big version, then you have to buy it next or something like that.
because right now I don't see any big feature that I really need to pay to use it.
I think Halide is like targeting very niche audience, like people who really into photography and trying to like get the best out of their camera.
Yeah.
And I'm just finding it strange that Henry uses this app. Because I noticed Henry takes a lot of photos, but then I'm like, you're using on your iPhone 8? Is it 8? Sorry. What's your phone again?
It's an iPhone SE 2020.
For you using iPhone SE and then you're using Halide. I'm like, huh.
Hey, don't look down on the iPhone SE users. It's not about the camera, it's about the photographer, right, Henry?
Exactly, yeah. It's not about the. There's a lot of YouTubers say you don't need to buy a red 8K camera to start a YouTube channel. You use whatever camera you have. The most important is the content and the script. I just want to say, although the lens is from iPhone 8, but because the A13 chip is so powerful with, I think, the HDR thing, so the smart HDR, the output is actually looks almost identical to the iPhone 11.
I've seen it in person. I think we were traveling in Berlin. We were comparing my iPhone 12 Pro Max and then his iPhone SE. Some pictures under really good lighting, actually pretty good. Yeah, it surprises me.
Yes, I would say there are two big features that I really want. That's the reason I'm thinking to upgrade to 13 mini. One is the wide angle lens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot just walk backward to get a wider angle. Then another one is night mode.
Oh my god, night mode is amazing.
So that's another paid app called Neuralcam.
Is it like try to be like Google Photo AI camera magic?
The output looks almost exactly to your night mode on the more expensive iPhone. It's just the UI is not that nice.
I see.
If you have the patience using the not very nice UI, the output, the image you get is very, very good. But I would say I do have the Google Camera app on my Android phone. I'm not using Google Pixel, but I do have the Gcam on my phone. But I would say the Google Camera still produce the best night image.
Interesting. All right. What other subscription do you subscribe?
Okay, there are a few things I pay. Google One, Spotify, that's all.
Do you pay for YouTube Premium?
No, I use AdBlock a lot. Now I'm on YouTube Premium currently, yes, because Google One to have promotion.
Good job, Henry.
So I do get the premium for free for 3 months. I think it's ending next few weeks. I'm not going to pay for it because it doesn't worth the cost.
All right. So question for Adam. Have you updated your YouTube recently?
What do you mean? I don't manually update apps. Who manually updates apps? Automatic updates.
No, I mean like recently YouTube has updated the app. YouTube Premium users will able to have picture-in-picture finally.
I see.
Don't you notice that?
I don't know if that's actually very useful for me because I don't watch YouTube on the phone. I watch it on my Apple TV and on the iPad.
But if you do it on your iPad,
yeah, it could be useful on the iPad. Yeah, because if I want to multitask, I put the video on the Apple TV and do something on my iPad. That's a better picture-in-picture for me. But yeah.
I see. All right.
Be on the lookout for that.
But Henry, so far you tried YouTube Premium for 3 months. You like don't talk about the price, but about the experience. Do you feel anything like oh, finally, like, I don't know.
I cannot imagine, since you have ad block anyway, I cannot imagine YouTube Premium being any different because you don't have access to any more content. Well, do you? No, you don't. What would be different if you pay?
They used to have.
I think there's some of the YouTube original, but it's kind of shit, so you don't care anyway. So here's the thing. I think no one is going to find me after this. I do use some modified version of the YouTube app on my iPhone. The modified version of the app do remove all the advertisement, even you don't pay for YouTube Premium. Yeah, I think Android has the same thing, then it got banned by Google.
Yeah, I think there was a GitHub open source one that recently got closed down because of this.
There's also the alternative one for the iOS, but for the iOS, I would say it's harder to install.
Oh, Henry GG. Hi, Henry.
I'm back.
How's Germany doing?
German internet not very good, huh?
Yes, it's a very German thing. Like the internet here, like shit.
I don't know. I feel like there's a general consensus that Europe internet is not as solid or as good as our Asia counterpart, right? I feel like in Asia we put a lot of emphasis on making it quick, making it fast, and making like available. But in Europe, it's like, this is fine. No, I think Adam also shared the same sentiment.
I agree.
I think when I
I
arrived,
had faster internet in Malaysia than when I moved to Dublin, and then when I moved to Amsterdam at first. Also, I had faster internet back in Malaysia. I don't know how to say this. Doesn't feel like there's a big of a demand for such speed. You get less nerds per capita, so to speak. So you get less people who care about speed. I don't know.
Nah, actually, one thing you said very interesting when I arrived was that the reason why Europe doesn't have good internet is that all the things are here. For example, if you want to have a business call, your client is in the country or in Germany or in UK. But in Malaysia, your client can be in US, can be in South Africa or somewhere where you really need good internet because that's not what it's happening. Like when you're hooking up to like live events, and in Malaysia, you need fast internet to get better response rate from a live event from UK or something. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this is the truth, but I think when you say that to me, I think that hits a lot of the right tones.
Or maybe there's one possibility is that all the backbone in Europe is very old, and while in Malaysia it's kind of new. So like everything is new. So of course they're going to install the new fiber there. But in Europe, basically they install the copper wire everywhere. So it's kind of no point for them to reinstall the fiber cable in the whole Europe.
Good point.
It's like the whole cell phone thing. Like last time they have Telegram, all the infrastructure, and then for Malaysia, we just jump straight to cell phone, right? Straight to 3G.
Yeah.
And then for here, they're like slowly building up.
Yeah, because like in Germany, it depends on where you live. For my case, the place I live is, I think this building's like, 100 or 200 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, the internet here is not the best.
I had a suspicion you lived in an old house because I can see the exposed piping on your right hand side.
You can go outside, then you see there's the manhole cover.
No, but even on your webcam here, if you look right next to your curtain, you see those two pipes coming from the ceiling down. To me,
no, those are the radiator.
Yeah, but the exposed piping of the radiators, for example, because in new houses, those would definitely not be exposed. I used to live in an old house just like yours, and I had exactly that same setup. My house was from 18 something as well. So yeah.
Yeah, because the area I live is like it's one of the place that it didn't get bombed during the war.
Yeah, I see.
So that's why there's an old building here. The benefit of living in a very old building is very beautiful because it's a very European building.
Yeah.
Those like when you imagine about Europe, it doesn't look like those Soviet Union building.
I guess you must live in the West, yeah? You must live in the West of Berlin then.
I live in the US part.
I see.
But I'll be curious to hear about you, Henry, about when winter, like how insulated your old apartment is. Because I think that's what old building always suffer the most, that they didn't insulate very well.
You can invite me to the podcast again like next year, like February.
Sure thing, buddy.
Do you have double glazed windows at least?
I would say the insulation is not the issue now. The issue is the gas price.
Yeah.
Yeah, Germany, right? How many percent? 70% gas from Russia.
It's very, very bad. Like the economy is very bad right now. The currency, the euro is going down, but like things in Germany prices keep increasing.
Yeah.
I went to IKEA. I forgot the original price, but when I go to IKEA, the restaurant, I do see the menu has a sticker on the price. So obviously they changed the price recently.
Yeah.
And this is the summer, yeah, because you can imagine now in the summer nobody's using gas. Basically, we're already past the longest day of the year, so we'll be okay for 2-3 months. But then as the winter starts, I think Europe's gonna get into quite a lot of trouble.
I mean, I do have a very thick blanket, so when they say they're going to cut the gas, like for me, like I'm going to worry about my room getting very cold. Then I think about it, the issue is actually not that. It's hot shower. Yeah, hot shower is a bigger issue because if the room is cold, you can wear jacket, you can use blanket, anything. But if the water is not hot enough, you are not going to shower.
You need to start to take cold showers from now on, maybe. Because actually, like I have friends who do cold showers, and I've done it a few times as well, and it's actually quite surprising how when your body's shocked with the cold, it generates a lot of natural heat. I find myself being quite warm after taking a cold shower.
I take cold shower in Bangkok.
Ah,
I do not have heater in Bangkok.
I see.
I mean, it kind of doesn't make sense. You don't need that.
Yeah.
But here, the water is so cold.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so it's different story. I do like to take cold shower. I mean, like it's very refreshing. But when the weather is cold, then you want a very warm or hot shower.
Yeah, completely true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So actually, Henry just moved to Germany in April. So it's actually quite new as well. So when I was visiting Henry, we are actually seeing things for the first time as well. For him and for me, of course.
Yeah, so it's like 2 tourists.
So when he came here, it's like the best times, right? April, spring. He hasn't suffered enough for cold and long nights.
I see.
So,
have you ever been in a winter? Have you ever been in a proper winter before?
Yes, I do. Like long time ago, like when I went to China, I do travel to China like end of December.
As a tourist, yeah.
Yes, as a tourist, that's the thing. As a tourist,
Yeah.
So I never properly live in a place with winter. So yeah, this winter will be very interesting for me, and especially during this time, so it'll be double interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yikes. So you're new in Germany, I see. What are your initial impressions of life in Germany so far?
Actually, I love it. When I was living in Asia, Malaysia and Thailand, so I kind of like an indoor person. I don't really like to go out. And the reason is very simple, because the weather outside is so hot. I don't want to go out. But after I moved here, the weather is so nice for me. Like 15 degrees is nice, 20 degrees is nice, 25 degrees is not very nice, 30 degrees is hell. Yeah, for me it's like as cold as possible, then it's good. Then because I want to go out, like I hate sweating. The best part, like living here, like you can go, it's like last week it's like 20 degrees. So like 12 p.m. you can go to a park, bring a book, sit on the grass and read the book and do nothing. But if you're in Malaysia, if you go to a park and sit there at 12 p.m., people think you are crazy. Yeah, when I move here, like I do spend a lot of time outdoor and I walk a lot. Usually like on weekend, I walk like 15 km per day.
Nice.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, that's the thing, because the weather is nice. In Malaysia, if you walk for 1 km, you sweat like I don't know. Your whole body is super wet, and you just want to go home. But here, you walk and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Henry and me suffered from the same thing. Like we have a lot of side projects, little babies that we want to give attention to, but because the weather is so good, you have to have to go out today. Like I can't stay at home working on this project. Like the weather is too good. Like I shouldn't miss this chance. And then I always notice like the months where the weather is particularly good, I spend less time coding after work, of course. Then one of the reasons why we didn't record last Saturday was that Henry was like, can we don't do weekend recordings because the weather is too good? I don't think I will want to stay at home. Yeah, I think every one of us share the same sentiment, I think.
I agree.
Once you're in Europe, the weather is just like begging you to go out.
I have this conversation a lot with my girlfriend, and I think it's also hard for her to fathom. It's also hard for me to fathom about how different our lives have been growing up because of the weather. Like they are used to having seasons over here. So in the summer you go out, in the winter you stay indoors, you work on stuff. Like you sort of work on more indoor projects in the winter. In the summer, you do completely different things. Like you have very different way of living in the summer versus the winter.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you two, but I guess it's probably not that different from how I grew up in Malaysia, where you didn't have different things you do in different parts of the year. You know, it's just the year is the same all year long, and it doesn't matter if it's December or January or March or April. If you want to do something, you just do it. You know, there's no There's no good season for it, so to speak. Your life isn't determined.
There's only during season, and then you really have to go out and eat during until you're like king.
Our seasons are determined by food, yes. Whatever food is in season, then that changes it. But
Exactly.
yeah, just like Henry said, just being able to go out and read outside or just on a sunny day, and the fact that they can enjoy this sort of thing in their entire lives, I think it builds into the different mindsets that the people over here have versus the people back in Malaysia, I think. Not really sure what is the point that I'm making here, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if I'm happy about the 4 seasons. I wonder whether I like it if it's summer all year long. So I kind of like what Malaysia has, where it's always sunny, but probably I don't want it to be that warm. So if it was a bit cooler, it would be perfect.
So would you
Yeah.
say you're a spring guy or you're an autumn guy?
Spring, for sure. Because spring brings the excitement of summer. Autumn brings the dread of winter, I think, for me.
All right. Because the idea is that during spring, is the weather getting warmer and warmer,
Yeah.
where in the autumn, it's more like, oh, you have been through the worst of summer, and then now you're slowly cooling off. So it's like the transition period.
Yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from, where
But-
you're dreading because the
Yeah, but
winter is coming.
I genuinely think, well, of course, I don't know how it's going to be coming, but this is going to be my 3rd winter in Europe. And I think this time I can finally see how to live life in the winter. For example, I want to continue taking Dutch lessons. I know I'm not going to do that in the summer because why would I go and sign up for indoor lessons during the summer when I can be outside instead? But in the winter months, this is a great thing to do because, yeah, you're learning something, you're indoors, it's the time to do this sort of thing. And I think, like in Malaysia, if I wanted to do something, I just do it straight away, sort of thing. Now I can sort of plan and say, hey, I want to do this, but it's way better for me to do this in the winter than in the summer. So I can push it back until the winter. So then at least when the winter comes, it's not so dreadful in a way because I've already have these amount of things that I wanted to do. But I knew it was better to do it in the winter than in the summer. So yeah,
I see.
it's different.
But I did read one research paper about this. Like, do you notice that people from Asia, like most of them are wearing glasses?
Case in point, all 3 of
Like,
us.
yeah, there was research they mentioned like there's a reason why most of the Asian are wearing glasses is because the time we spend indoor.
I see.
So as a
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
we go to school, after school we go home, study, then go to tuition center. You see,
Yeah.
we basically spend the whole day indoor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the people in Europe, I noticed they spend a lot of time outdoor.
Yeah.
Like there's one park outside my house. There are a lot of kids that usually like going out like starting like 4 p.m. until like 7 or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
There are a lot of kids outside playing the water, playing the playground thing. Like as a kid, I don't really do that often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
and that's the research like this what the China and Taiwan government is pushing is that they want to encourage the kids staying outdoor, and they use this research as they test it and it works. And they notice that kids wearing glasses kind of drop because the time they spend outdoor is increased.
So to add to your point, right, I think there was one podcast that talks about this as well. I think it emphasized more on because the science behind it is that why do we wear glasses? Because we are nearsighted, right? We can't see anything far, right? When once you are indoor, you see things closer to your face, right? Hence, when you are growing up, your body kind of like, I don't need to develop that far eyesight since you spend 80% of the time looking at books, looking at computer, although it might be a very well lit room or something, but it doesn't matter because it's still near sight. Hence, to add on to your point, where in overseas where people spend time outside and where they really need to flex their eyes to see far things, that's why they have that healthier growth in terms of eyesight. Because I imagine 3 of us, we started wearing glasses during primary school, yes,
Yeah.
where we spend a lot of time indoors because of tuition and stuff like that. And only secondary school, we get to play a bit of sports. So I feel like, yeah, if we get to spend more outdoor lifestyle, then we wouldn't be wearing glasses now.
Is that going to be my KPI as a parent in the future? If my kids wear glasses, I feel in terms of making sure they have enough outside time. But that's interesting research. Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely indoors as a kid a lot. I never went out as a kid. Based on what you're saying, I'm not surprised that I ended up wearing glasses.
That's why I have another theory about why I feel like in Europe, they have this very negative connotation towards video games. Like, why do you want to spend time playing video games indoors instead of going outside? Where to us Asians, we feel like video game is just one part of entertainment. Just like how you listen to music or how you watch movies is like just one part of entertainment. And I think there's some escapism in terms of video games. Like in Asia, the weather isn't as friendly as here. And then you tend to be like, oh, video games, the weather is always perfect. And whenever you turn it on, there's this fictional world that you can always go to and be yourself. When Europe, this is where you want to be. Perfect weather out there. Like sometimes when I'm traveling around Europe, when I see nice weather, sometimes it reminds me of being in the video game. Like, oh yeah, this reminds me of part when I played during in Witcher 3 in this old castle.
Yep.
Or passing through a village. You know, like
Yep.
the vibe, the feel feels like a painting from a museum, like the colors. And then I feel like, like Europe, people actually get to live in it rather than for us to experience that. We have to play it and experience it in the video game.
I think you're touching on a very interesting point. And I think people play video games in Asia because they want to escape the weather. I think growing up in Asia as a kid, there's a lot more different kinds of pressure that you have to live through. School, studies, expectations to do this, expectations to become that. I think that thing is the thing that pushes more and more children in Asia to escape towards video games. I think over here, those pressures are much lesser. But when we had a chat a few weeks ago, Morgan, you made a very good comment to me about how if you were to have a child here, like in Asia, they would either have to be a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer in order to be successful.
Yeah.
But over here, you can sort of be anybody who you want to be. And that pressure to be somebody is not so prevalent here. I think that pressure is what leads certain kids in Asia to find ways to escape from that pressure, hence video games.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when I moved to Europe, I do realize that actually there are more things to do compared when I was in Malaysia. Like in Malaysia, that during weekend, the things I can do is go to shopping mall, shopping, and shopping.
Go makan.
Go makan. Basically, just everything you can do in the shopping mall. But here in Europe, there are so many things you can do. You can go to a park. You can go to any museum, which is there are, I don't know, like thousands of museums in this region. There's museum. You can go to opera house. You can go to watch an orchestra. You can just go to a park, do nothing. I mean, like there are so many good outdoor things. Once I move here, go to shopping is in my last thing to do. If I got nothing to do, then I will only go to shopping mall to buy meat. Basically, do grocery shopping, not the usual Malaysia shopping mall shopping.
And also that shopping malls, like the kind of shopping malls you have in Malaysia, they don't really exist over here in Europe. There are very few of them, right?
Yeah, like Berlin has one they call the Mall of Berlin, but when you go there, it's usually tourists go there. Not a lot of local. What local people go is to go to the farmer market or the flea market, which is best in the world because first it's outdoor and second, like during the COVID, it's still endemic, but it's also pandemic. But hey, you go to the flea market, you don't need to wear the mask because in Germany, indoor technically you need to wear. I mean, like it's not enforced, so you can choose not to wear it. But if you go to flea market, you go to any outdoor market, you just don't need to wear it. So you feel healthy instead of like going to indoor enclosed space. It's just not nice.
Sorry, there's a dog barking behind.
Yeah, I can hear that too.
So his name is Tippy, and he's a very small dog, and he's a very loud dog.
Is it in your apartment or a neighbor's dog?
It's in my apartment, but it's a neighbor's dog.
I see.
Yeah, I have also another point to talk about.
All right.
Do you notice the dog in Europe is way more privileged than the dog in Malaysia? Because after I moved here, I noticed one thing. Wherever I go, there's dog. I go to Uban, go to S-Bahn, go to restaurant, go to shopping mall. Dogs is everywhere. But in Malaysia, no, you don't see dogs. I would say like if I want to become a dog, I want to become a dog in Europe, not in Malaysia. Because if I'm a dog in Malaysia, I'm going to stay in my house forever for my life. If I'm a dog in Berlin, then I can go to the park. I need to learn how to ride U-Bahn. I need to learn how to use the escalator.
Yeah.
I mean, like the life here is nicer as a dog.
I feel like the relationship a dog has with an owner in Asia and Europe is very different. In Asia, when we have a dog, we expect the dog to be a guard dog. So the dog responsibility is to guard the door. So if there's intruders or something, that's your job. So we have this relationship is very transactional. So like I feed you and you
bark at people.
But in Europe, I think the relationship with a dog is very different. Like the dog relationship in Europe is where the dog and its owners is in the same level. So it's kind of like they go out together, they spend time together, they sleep together, They more like a friend relationship. Like they can go through winters together at home, go out, enjoy the summer together. Where in Malaysia, it's always like, I'm just gonna be at home and the dog's gonna be outside all the time. And there's no like, oh, let's bring a dog out to walk, or let's take a dog on a train to a beach somewhere. So I think the relationship is very different compared to Europe and Asia.
Dogs are part of the family here.
Yeah, I would say the life of quality for a dog in Europe is better. I think a dog in Malaysia also get like discriminated, right?
That's actually the bigger problem that I think is actually makes it more difficult. Like Morgan, you say bring a dog on the train to the beach. You cannot do that in Malaysia because people don't. Yeah.
Technically it's illegal. So
dogs are frowned upon.
No, it's illegal unless it's a guided dog. But sometimes they also don't care it's a guided dog or not. They say no, it's dog, so no entry. But yeah, in Europe, dog is everywhere. And I do notice that the dog here behave way nicer than the dog in Malaysia. So this is the thing. The dog in Malaysia, when they see me, they will bark at me. 1 second later, they will start to... What's the word for that?
Chase you down the road until you give up your lunch money to them.
Exactly. The dog in Europe, they don't care about me at all. I look at the dog look away. I mean, like, I feel sad, you know? I got ignored by a dog.
I feel so sorry for you, Henry.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a mixed feeling. Like, yes, yeah, they are not barking at me, they are not chasing me, but yeah, I got ignored by a dog. Man, that is sad.
I think it's a behavior thing. I think dogs essentially are social creatures.
Yeah.
So over here in Europe, they get to meet different dogs outside, and then they get to meet different people. That's why they get acclimatized. That's why in Malaysia or any pet cafe that you went to, the dogs or the cat over there, they kind of like, they don't even want to bother you as well, because every day there's 50 different type of people play with them, right? So it feels like, yeah, dogs are very social creatures, where I think you see dogs down the street that actually barks at you, chase at you, are the dogs that hardly see people at all, or don't have many interaction with people.
Or the dogs that are trained to be guard dogs, like you were saying earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are being treated like as a guard dog, hence they have that guard dog attitude.
Yeah, but then those pet dog, the very cute one, they also do the same thing to me, like the dog in Malaysia. But the dog here, even the super big dog, those police dog, those very, very big size, they just don't care about me. They just continue with their own life. I continue with my own life.
Yeah, well trained.
But in Malaysia, it's completely different story.
Yeah.
The algorithm for the dog in Malaysia is very simple. If you see a human, bark and chase. The dog in Europe, they don't care about you.
Just gonna say, the dogs are probably taken care of very well. You know, you're happy. You have nothing to complain about. You know, the dogs. So they see another human, they're like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm happy with my life. I don't need to chase anybody.
And one nice thing about Germany, there's no stray dog at all.
Mm.
The dog I found without the owner is 0, cat 1. I moved here since April. I only saw 1 cat. That's it.
I see.
It's kind of sad. I love cat. I'm a cat person, not a dog person.
Now I see why the dog doesn't want to bother you. They can sense you, Henry.
The dogs will listen to this podcast, Henry, and they'll say, this guy, he likes cats.
Okay, but that's the issue. Because the reason why I don't like dog is because I was in Malaysia, all the dog will chase me. It will bark at me. So I kind of hate dog because they don't like me at all. So I want to touch them, I can't touch them. But now in Europe, I'm kind of like, yeah, dog is cute. Cat is, I mean, like, where's the cat? I kind of miss cat, you know. But I mean, like, now I was like, dog is fine. When I go back to Malaysia, when you see a dog, please run away first. The dog in Malaysia is not going to behave the same thing like the one in Europe.
Nah, it's not too bad. The stray dogs maybe, yes, but it depends. It depends on the location.
I mean, like, the dog you see in Malaysia mostly are stray dog, right?
Nah, they are my friends. I feed them time to time. I make friends with them.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're
JB dogs are very different, maybe.
Yeah, there are some dogs that's very, very nice, but also there are some dogs that are super bad. But here it's like, after I move here, the time I get barked by a dog, 0. No, even the cat also ignore me. I meow to the cat just walk away. I mean, like, and when I was in Malaysia, when I meow to the cat will meow to me. I don't know, it's the
Henry,
language barrier or face
yeah,
problem or
speaks a different language over here.
You gotta meow in German, yeah?
it's so sad. Like finally I see a cat. Meow at the cat walk away.
But to me, isn't that what cat is? They are the animals that high and mighty and doesn't want to water you with their precious time. Isn't that
There's
what
always
cat
this
is?
saying, if you give a cat food, the cat will think they are the king of the house. If you give a dog food, then the dog knows you're the king of the house. Since you're new in Europe, Henry, you must come and visit Amsterdam then. You know 2 people in Amsterdam. It's only a train ride away.
Yes, but after end of August.
I see.
There's a reason for that.
Oh.
Because Germany has the €9 ticket.
Uh-huh.
So I only traveled in Germany for the 3 months because I want to use a €9 ticket. If I travel outside Germany during these 3 months, I kind of waste the ticket, right? Because I'm not using it.
He's like want to utilize every single cent from the €9 ticket.
I'm Asian. Like when I bought the Berlin transport ticket for 1 month, it's like €50. I took all the public transport. So U-Bahn, S-Bahn, tram, bus, ferry. There's a self-driving minibus.
Wow, you have that in
Yeah,
Germany?
then what else? What else you can take? You can take the regional express. You can take the regional bahn. So there's 8 different type of private transport. I use all of it
Nice. Okay.
because I would say a very cheapskate Asian. I spend the money, so I want to use.
You want to fully
everything I pay
utilize
for.
the money that you pay for. I understand. Okay.
Exactly.
After August, then you can. You're very welcome to visit Amsterdam.
Of course, I do want to visit the whole Europe. I mean, that's the goal why I moved here. The best part, like you can travel and you can still get paid. So why not?
So yeah, I think we have a really great chat between Adam and Henry. I think initially we wanted to talk about DroidCon, but I think we moved to more interesting topics, I would say. I think it's an interesting mix because like what I said in the beginning where me and Adam, our social circles are mostly mobile developers. So at first we have Henry as a web front-end developer. So there's a lot of interesting curiosity and questions that you would ask a web developer. They're like, we have one on the show like, oh, there are things that I always wondered whether does it work like that? So yeah, thanks for joining our show, Henry.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Henry.
Yeah, I love this kind of talk shit stuff.
Is it shit?
High quality shit.
So yeah, Henry, if our listeners wants to follow you on Twitter or something, do you have a social media handler that you would like them to follow?
Yes, find me on Twitter, Henry Lim 96.
All right. So yeah, Adam, any closing thoughts from your side?
I feel like I just had an idea. Whenever we have a guest next time, we always need to ask them like the same closing question to sort of, I don't know what the question is. I have an idea, but yeah. Henry, what is your guilty pleasure?
So sorry?
What is your guilty pleasure?
Wait, what's the meaning for that?
Like some people like to watch things that you do that you enjoy, but you don't want to admit to other people that you do because it's shameful.
It's like you're embarrassed for people to know about this little hobby of yours, but you really enjoy very much.
No, I would say most of the stuff I do not embarrassed. Like I sleep a lot. I can say I'm very good in sleeping. If I have the time to sleep, I can sleep whole day. Yeah.
Oh, that's a dream, man. That's a dream. But the weather is too good, Henry. I don't think the weather will
Yes.
allow you to do that.
And then, okay. I will talk about this next time. Yeah, that's the issue that I had every Saturday morning, starting like 6 to 10 a.m. Should I go out or should I sleep?
I understand, yeah.
So European life have made you an outdoor person right now.
Yes, I mean not
Nice.
Europe, it's the weather. I blame the weather for lack of sleep, lack of time doing side project, lack of time watching TV stuff, lack of time playing my Xbox because I spend all my time outdoor.
In the winter, some of these will come back, I'm sure. But
Yeah, I will update you again during the winter.
Yes, we'll check in again on Henry in the winter. This is summer Henry. We'll check in on winter Henry. We'll see how winter Henry is doing. Then winter Henry will be like, I don't have enough time to go out because I'm always indoors. I'm always playing my Xbox, always doing my side projects. There's not enough sun. I want to go out. Cannot go out. We'll see.
Yeah, alasan banyak.
But yeah, hope you have a nice summer, Henry. So remember to drop us a call when you're coming to Holland.
Netherlands.
Yeah, of course.
So if you like what you're listening right now of our little conversations, you could follow us on Twitter. That's Rojak Tech Pod. Rojak ROJAK TECH. Pod. Alright, I'll catch you guys next time.